So we were talking a little bit off camera about a lot of circumstances that would benefit in a community style living.
Yeah.
So tell us overall, like, what challenges do you see seniors facing today in general, and then specifically how this community living could be very beneficial?
I think the biggest challenge just in aging in general is you're recognizing your own limitations, which is hard to recognize, especially if you were fiercely independent, that all of a sudden I can't do things, whether it's mental, it's cognitive, it's physical, it's aging is going to present limitations.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't drive anymore. You don't have the energy you had anymore. Now you're retired. How am I filling up that time of what I want to do? So people, those limitations equate to losing independence. Nobody wants to lose independence. So that's the thing, is that, I try to tell people when they come in for tours, you're still in charge. It's not like you have to do activities. You don't have to do anything. It's there if you want it. You still decide. You're still steering the ship. It's just you have these things available to you if you want them.
Yeah.
So I think that's the hardest thing to come to grips with, is that it's aging changes things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it has to be less than, it's just different.
Yeah.
And it can be very fulfilling, and it could be meaningful. So
yeah, pride's an awful thing.
It is. And people don't like to ask people for help. It's a hard thing to ask people.
I was thinking when you said independence, someone who's living at home, fiercely independent, and has been that way their whole life, probably was also working with other folks, or doing community events. Volunteerism was big for the sort of the generation that might be seeking senior living, and as you become fiercely independent at home, you actually lose the opportunity to do all the things that you really enjoyed, being connected with all these other people. And the way you describe the Delaney and this community experience is that actually these opportunities are very close to you now. You don't have to travel far for them. You don't have to look for them. They are presented to you, and you get to be fiercely independent and do all the things that you enjoy doing with little effort.
Yeah, we've even had people in our community, based on what their profession or their past was, steer an activity. They do a lecture. They host a lecture. We had somebody who campaigned for Jimmy Carter. We have a Holocaust survivor. We have someone who worked for NASA. These are people that are interesting, have had rich lives, that can share that with other people. So we've tapped into that as well. So
the residents become your guest speakers, and
We have a gentleman who's he likes doing genealogy. He has a genealogy club. He wants to help other people trace their roots. So this gives people purpose, and it's a wonderful thing. Then they can share with other people and forge, connection with that.
I'm a strong believer in attachments and communication, and the two going together, I think, really help keep people alive, give them strength and purpose. And so I think living at home and being isolated and fiercely independent can kind of sap people.
I think too is there's a feeling when you age you become invisible, and I think the key is connection with others makes you more visible and vibrant.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
No one wants to not be seen.
Yeah.
So if you can be seen whatever way it is, whether it's a past passion, something new you're finding, or just connecting to other people, I think that gives you new life.
Yeah. Well, You transitioned me perfect. So there's
I didn't even do it on purpose.
there's a saying.
We're on the same line.
I know. There's a saying, no one can whistle a symphony. It takes a whole orchestra to play it. I'm wondering if this relates well to community living versus staying at home.
I believe it does, and I'm not going to say anything disparaging about staying at home.
Yeah.
Some certain people at whatever point of life they're in, and there's wonderful caregivers where people can stay at home. If that's what works best for you, that's fine. The flip side is being at home and you don't have this population, this community can be isolating.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have a whole day's worth of all kinds of activities that if you want to stay active, and some people go to a few things, some people I see at everything, it's there for you if you want it. And
Right.
I think that we have a very diverse population there, where if you know enough about that person, they'll find their people when they're there, and we help with that. So we have an ambassador program to acclimate people, because it's hard when it's like your first day of college. I can walk in, where should I sit? I don't know what to do, and I don't know where this is. They have a buddy system where people help acclimate them when they first move in. And once you get out there and you go to activities, you find your people. It's not so scary anymore. So the staff is integral in helping as well. Activity staff, care staff, department heads, even just, you have your same person who gets you your coffee and your breakfast in the morning, just making people feel comfortable. Housekeeping, it's really a group effort to get people acclimated. Even on tours, everybody plays a role in, is this going to be a fit for me? So you have to feel comfortable there.
Nice. I have this idea about talking about one's mortality with others, such as friends and family, enhances one's life as a way of lightening living by letting go of repressed thoughts and feelings about death and dying. Does Delaney promote talking openly about end-of-life issues?
Yes. So we do have grief support, caregiver support groups, anxiety. There is a lot of anxiety with aging.
Wow.
Regular group sessions for that.
Yeah.
We also have, which I think has turned into almost like a therapy session, a creative writing group where people are writing about their lives and building a memoir, talking about their challenges in their life and where they are right now. And it does come into play, just coming to grips with aging and life. So there are many opportunities to talk about that. And, just the community itself, you make friends. I think people have those conversations once they feel comfortable and make friends to just discuss it, because everybody's kind of on the same journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all going to be there, so but why not do it, together?
Yeah.
You don't have to do it alone.
I think there's strength in numbers, so I think it helps a lot, and we can all talk about it together. That's great. I'm so happy to hear that the Delaney not necessarily promotes it, but it's accessible, because I really think it does enhance people's lives. They don't have to worry about it. They can help lift that off themselves. So.
And there's layers. There's losing siblings, spouse. There's people who've lost children.
Yeah.
There's many different types of loss, but everybody's kind of helping each other, which is helping each other through it. Yeah. Which is wonderful.
Shifting a little bit, I'm sure you've experienced people expressing misconceptions about senior living. Would you tell the audience about misconceptions and maybe add some truth to them? So.
Yeah, it's that person who's kicking and screaming, I'm never going to go into a community, and the kids are like, come on, Mom, let's just take a look. Is what I like to do is tell them to come during happy hour, because happy hour at the Delaney is quite fun. They're expecting a nursing home, because a lot of these folks, my mom and dad died in one of those nursing homes. I don't want to end up like that. this is not what we're talking about. There's a vibrancy when you walk into that lobby that I can tell you there's a vibrancy. It's an experience when you walk in. There's an energy. There's a lot going on. And it's very different than what their perception is. So that's why I say, bring somebody in for an activity, bring them in for a meal, come at happy hour. We have music today. Get to know some people. Let's break that perception of it's going to be a nursing home and I'm just going to this place to die and I'm just going to be sitting in bed all day. Not the case. So the fact that there is independent living and assisted and memory care, we're commingling independent and assisted living. If someone has to move from independent to assisted, you can still go to all the same activities, go to happy hour, mix with everybody. There's a vibrancy there that is a little bit different than a true, just pure assisted living. Not saying one's better than the other, it's just different. Yeah. So somebody is very independent and they're just downsizing, and it's a nice stepping stone where you still have the vibrancy, but it's just a little bit easier to manage in terms of just less cooking, less cleaning. We have transport service. There's a lot of conveniences there for you, so it's just easier.
I love that stepped up care philosophy, and you stay in the same place, it's the same people. So that's great. Thank you.